Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to another Replay Competition 2 Honourable Mention video. This is going to be the last Honourable Mention of the Heavies. Apologies that these videos have been delayed a little bit. As you will know, that the 8.8 patch has messed up quite a few of the replay systems features. However, I've managed to create some workarounds, and as you can see now, these 8.7 replays are looking great. So, today we're going to see a T29, and we're also going to see a Black Prince. First up in the T29 is Ethan Gaming _what, who seems to really like his T29, as he's going to show you an absolute T29 masterclass here. So immediately, look at this matchup. I mean, wow, okay. Do they have any medium tanks? No. No tank destroyers? No. No artillery? No. What a dream. As this is an experience competition, the enemy have got a hell of a lot of heavy tanks, which mean that there's a hell of a lot of health on the enemy team, which means that there's a hell of a lot of experience in this game. And Ethan is Ethan is already over 1,000 damage here. He's just nailing them all from the middle of the map here, rocking this bush. One thing that you'll notice is that Ethan is always looking out. As you can see here, he's always zooming out, zooming in, trying to look for the next shot. That's what you have to do. Always looking for that next shot. Wow, that was a bit of a brutal miss, but the T29 with the 105mm does pack extra penetration, but it does have pretty poor accuracy. However, having that 200mm of penetration at tier 7 with a near impenetrable turret is just amazing. So finally he gets spotted. He's trying to put in more shots while retreating. A fighting withdrawal, so to say. And there we go, he puts in a great shot into the Tiger there. So wow, we're 2.5 minutes into the game and not one tank on either side has died yet. That's quite impressive. I guess it's because literally there's so many heavy tanks on either side. Literally only heavies, apart from the troll platoon. Actually, to be fair, that's not even a troll platoon. That's a regular platoon getting in the worst ever matchup. Do you guys see that? Oh my days. This T1 heavy and this type T34 are tier 5 tanks. And this is just the worst matchup I've ever seen. Those poor guys, they must be thinking, what is this? So Ethan come on, get the names right, Mr. QuickyBaby. You're so bad at names. He's giving some really good lead here. He's not really missing a shot. He's aiming them flush, and he's already at 2,500 damage. So the enemy are trying to flank around, and that's given him the best possible opportunity to get some good shots off. Knowing that he needs to get forwards to hide his hull, he wants to use his amazing turret armor. It's good that he's taking the fight to the enemy now rather than withdrawing. He needs to keep them at this range before they can see over the edge. He fires a blind shot there at the Tiger. Not 100% sure if that has gone in or not. The amount of zooming in and out that Ethan is doing is almost mesmerizing. You know it's the right thing to do, always be looking at your surroundings, use your camera to your advantage. And he's doing a sterling job here of holding back the enemy. He realizes that there's an AMX last spotted to the north, and he really doesn't want to get flanked by that AMX. The T29 is fantastic until it's getting shot in the side or the rear. And Ethan is feeling under a little bit of pressure here, so he's firing some premium rounds at turrets of tanks. With the premium rounds, the 105mm does go up to 245mm of penetration, which means that really this AMX turret, if he hits it, which he's getting a bit unlucky with where his shells are going at the moment, will get destroyed. And we can see that the Tiger P has decided it's man mode time. That shell just completely wafts. Guys are really seeing the accuracy of the T-29 here. And he's in a really sticky situation. He's getting surrounded. And now he's only down to 272 health. He's not going to give up. He's angling his armor well now. And finally takes out that pesky AMX that was giving him such a load of trouble. So now, having taken out that AMX, he's starting to load the regular rounds again. And his team they're doing okay. They're holding the east flank well, but really he's completely out in the open here. And in theory, any tank on the enemy team could one-shot him if they roll high. So his sixth sense does go off there. He's quickly turning his turret round, and whoa, there goes his remaining health. Right in the cupola on top of the tank, as you can see there. It's another weak point of the T-29. And wow. If this was me, I'd be thinking like, oh my god, what can I do? I'm stuck completely in the open here, surrounded from all sides. Let's shoot our way out. He rolls for 320 there on the Tiger P, the average roll of this 105mm, going straight through that lower plate. Fortunately for him, the Tiger P must have hit his turret armor and it bounced. Looks like off the top. And now this Tiger and the AMX, who has been trying to flank around and wait for this guy to be killed, are starting to make moves. I'm pretty clueless as to why the AMX spent so long camping and didn't just flank him in the first place. But now we can see him trying to shoot his way out of more trouble here. The enemies seem to want to come at him one by one, but now they're starting to surround him. And another great shot there on that AMX. So Ethan has been down to one shot for the last 2,000 damage. He's going down fighting. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got some kind of adrenaline rush on his crew at the moment. This T-29 been riddled with holes, and he's using his sixth sense here to try and figure out where the enemy are. He's got spotted again. He's got to be very careful here. This game's really close. He's already at 5,000 damage in a tier 7 tank. That's just massive. But he's not done yet. He's definitely not done yet. So now his friends have decided, okay, let's flank the enemy. And the T1 heavy of all tanks, the tank in the worst possible matchup, comes in and makes a good kill. So yeah, that's hilarious. Now, this Tiger has given him his side armor, which he goes, thank you very much, Mr. Tiger. Puts a big shot into him. Now the AMX comes back for more and bounces. Oh, this is just such a super Spartan medal so far. I'm not sure how many bounces he's got, with only having no shots left. He fires one clutch there at the AMX. And then continues his onslaught. So now he's taking, in my opinion, now that he knows that the other flank is secure, well actually he's judging it. He knows that if he goes up there that the Tiger can easily shoot him in the side. But I think he wants to take that risk because he's more worried about the AMX. So he's looking at where that Tiger was last spotted. And there he is, there's the Tiger. He's keeping an eye out on the AMX as well. Puts in another great shot. And the Tiger's out. So he sees this AMX is hiding behind the rock. He can't afford to get sniped. Knows that the last two enemies, apart from this one, were situated up on the hill. So he's watching out for that. Now he knows that at least one of them has come down off the hill and is in the cap. And the fact that his T1 heavy friend just got hit for such a large amount suggests that the T29 is probably up on the hill sniping while the Tiger P is capping. So this T1 heavy just went, I'm gonna get you, and just went straight at them. Valiant effort, but not really what was needed to be done here. So the best player on the enemy team, who also has 3 kills, is left on 73% health. Now Ethan has to figure out how he's going to dig this guy out, only being able to take 1 shot. We can see, oh great, lovely shot into the back of the tank there. He angles his armor well here, thinking that he might get shot from the middle or by the T29 up on the hill. But it's another great shot in there, and the AMX is in just a lot of trouble now. Completely outmaneuvered, outclassed. That AMX goes down. Something tracks the IS. Maybe a T29 from the hill. Yeah, the T29 was on the hill. Big shots, big shots. Putting him at 6,700 damage. What a huge game. 7,000 damage. Oh my god, that's just ridiculous. So they've only got 3 minutes left. There's 1 in the cap circle and there's 1 up on the hill. Thankfully that Tiger P was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Ethan snatches up another kill. Now it's just a case of cleaning up the last remaining enemy. He's moving into position. He doesn't want to get caught here though. He doesn't want to die. And clutch. What a result, taking up the top gun with the last shell in the game. That was a huge result. What a round. Now let's just take a quick look at some post-game stats. So here we can just see how huge of a game Ethan Gaming had. Now many of you might think that this 3,378 would be a double, and I would be happy, you know. Oh, I got a double. I got a 3.4k double in my T29. Guys, this isn't a double. As we can see here, Ethan Gaming was able to do over 3 times the damage of any of his members on his team, doing 7,300 damage. That's just huge. He fired 37, hit 28, and of those 28, 26 penetrated. He took 11 hits, and of those 11, 6 penetrated. So this wasn't a case of the T29 just getting in a hold down location against tanks which are unable to really do anything against them. He did pick up the steel wall and the Spartan medal because of the bounces that he had on such low health, and also taking a potential damage of 2,500. Now he destroyed 6 and he damaged 5, so he hit a total of 11 out of 15 tanks on the enemy team, and even did 1,000 damage upon detecting. If we look at the detailed report, we can see here clearly 2,252 experience without premium, 3,378 experience with premium, non-double. That's just massive. He also got 154,000 credits in a T29 without any event. That's just bonkers. That's like a big game in a T34 that has premium. Even though he fired all of that ammunition and paid 56,000 credits, he still made 91,000 credits profit. This was just a simply masterful game where it showcases really the strengths of the T29. Ethan Gaming showcased that you've always got to keep looking. Always think about where the next shell is going to come from and where your next shot is going to be. He was constantly zooming out, zooming in, trying to find the shots, trying to avoid the shots, checking the angles that the enemies are going to be firing at him. And because of that, he had a monster game. This is such a huge result. So thank you so much, Ethan Gaming, for your replay. I had to show it because it was so awesome. And I'm sure that everyone appreciated you showing them just what the T29 can do when it's used in masterful hands. So anyway, guys, let's move along. Let's take a look at a Black Prince game now. Let's go. So here we see the Thunder God. What an incredible name. Playing in his Black Prince. He's playing in Runeberg, and he has got a dream matchup, guys. An absolute dream of a matchup. Look at that. The enemy have got 1 tier 7 tank less than his team, And in fact, the only tier 7 tank on the enemy team is an E25. I'm going to go through this replay fairly quickly because the Black Prince is rather slow. And I think you guys might know what the hell is going to happen in this replay. So he puts off a clutch shot there into the Panzer III-4. And just when he thinks, oh, okay, I'll secure the kill on my clutch shot, no, the AT2 just goes herp, herp, and sits in front of him. Oh, the amount of times that's happened. So again, the Thunder God puts in another clutch shot into the track of the M6, who repairs quite quickly. Let's speed it up a little bit. We're just going to go through this replay. Now he's going to start to take chunks out of this M6, and oh my god, look at the amount of tanks that are in front of him now. Absolutely crazy. So this is what the Black Prince is really good for. Using its 76mm to chew up tanks which it's able to penetrate. Now remember, this is a T7 heavy as well. You just saw a replay of a T29, and now you're seeing the British Tier 7 heavy instead. So the Thunder God decides, KV-1, you're not escaping. Makes a good tracking shot on him. And then proceeds to finish off the KV-1. And wow, this is a serious tank fight going on right here. Comes around the corner to try and pick up the kill on the PZ, but it was already dead. And oh wow, now he's got more targets to shoot at. The 82 is going to be quite a challenge to penetrate from range, even when he tries to snipe the hatch as he is. If I was him right now, I would be probably trying to shoot the T1 heavy, and yeah, he sees that. Trying to make the shots happen. It's unfortunate bouncing going on. He just tracks him. No effective damage here, but oh, here we go. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, the VK has a repair pack and pulls back. And you'd be thinking, like, okay, surely he's doing enough to win this game, but actually they're a tank down at the moment. Puts a huge shell into the VK there, setting him on fire, doing a bit of beta damage as well. And this is just a ridiculous shootout. I'm going to zoom out for a second here. Just look at this shootout down this alleyway. It's ridiculous. It's kind of tank action that every commander wants. He's continually aiming his turret in the right way. And one thing that you guys will be saying is that, wow, dubious amounts of skill going on here, and yeah, I would agree with you. But the result, the result is still huge. And the carrying that he's doing, considering he is the daddy tank, cannot be denied. I have no idea why this T-34 would be wanting to duke it out with a Black Prince at range. It's not the most sensible thing that you could be doing. But guys, okay, the game has just taken a change for the worse. So up until this point, yeah, okay, not a big deal, not a big deal. He basically just stood in an alleyway and used his amazing frontal armor. But now he's 1 versus 5. So there's the enemy tier 7 tank. He puts a great shot in on the track of the E25, who repairs, but decides to shoot it out. That E25 needed to get out of there quickly. Realizing that the E25 is trying to escape and not wanting him to come back and haunt him later. I mean, the E25 is on a Top Gun here. That E25 wants his Top Gun. Now what the Thunder God does here, which is great, is he drives in one way but turns his turret round the other way. I like that. I like that he was still pursuing the E25, turning his turret around. And one thing he has to realize is that he doesn't have much time. They're going to be capping right now, and for all he knows, there could be a couple of tanks in the cap. But at least there's not one. He just goes, I ignore you, KV-1, and oh, that was painful. Oh, I have no idea why that Type 58 was out in the open. He's so lucky. The Thunder God was lucky there that the Type 58 was there. Trying to poke him for some reason. I guess he doesn't want to let him get to him, and wow, great shot there by the Type 58. Maybe the Type 58 decided that his best bet is to lock him there while the KV-1 comes in behind him. And now you can see just how bad the Black Prince's engine is from behind. The KV-1 penetrated him once in the back, set him on fire, hit him again, and now his engine is wrecked. Putting another shot into the back of his turret. So, the enemy, like, fair enough. they're starting to come good at the end. And yeah, it's very clear that the KV-1 is a fairly good player. So now the Type 58 is trying to hold him there. He's trying to hold him there, but he allowed the Thunder God to shoot him twice. Oh, that's such a bad mistake by the Type 58. And the Thunder God was quite fortunate there. Very fortunate that the Type 58 was a bit of a scrub nub. If the Type 58 had had brains, he would have just kited him until the KV-1 arrived. But now the KV-1 is giving the Thunder God a bit of trouble here. But Thunder God is doing reverse side scraping, and just here's a Hummel shell land near him. Oh my god, it's so intense. Oh man, these are the kind of games which get your heart pounding a little bit. Every Kolobanov's medal opportunity. With his wrecked engine, I guess he's wanting to hide from the Hummel a little bit here. He's thinking, okay, is that Hummel going to come in behind me and shotgun me? Maybe, maybe not. One thing is, the Thunder God has already done 4,400 damage this game, which is huge considering that the enemy do not have a large health pool. He has done so much in his matchup, in his God matchup as I would call it. And he's definitely carrying this game. Already got 6 kills, fighting for the Kolobanov's medal at the end. Now trying to fight against the KV-1. Unfortunately for him, the KV-1 made a bit of a mistake there. The KV-1 really should have just kited him for a while. That's a brutal bounce. The KV-1 foolishly comes back, thinking, I guess what the KV-1 might have done there is underestimated the rate of fire of the Black Prince. As you guys saw, the Black Prince rate of fire was just, is huge with this 76mm. And I think maybe the KV-1 thought, he won't reload again. He's a big tank. He's got a slow-firing big gun. No, Mr. KV-1, you were not right. I guess he wanted to try and line up his tracks just to catch the Black Prince and then keep him tracked there while his Hummel friend comes for him. But the Thunder God now is just trundling along. He's only got 7 minutes left, but that's more than enough time to get tapped. Oh, I fast-forwarded it a little bit too quickly then. He puts on a clutch shot at the Hummel. And oh my god, the Hummel just nearly takes him out. Oh, it was so close. Oh, that would have been so bad if the Hummel had scumbagged him at the end there. That would have been absolutely brutal. Leaving him on 52 health, taking out his gunner and his commander. Oh, that was so close. That poor Hummel. That Hummel would have loved it, denying him the Kolobanov's medal. But anyway, let's take a look at some post-game stats. So here we have the Thunder God's game in that Black Prince. What a huge result. Look at the amount of tanks that he damaged on the enemy team. He got a cool-headed medal, the Radley Walters, Steel Wall, Top Gun, Defender, and the one that everyone wants, the Kolobanov's medal. The Thunder God did over 4 times the damage the next highest guy on the team did. In fact, doing a quick bit of addition means that he actually did more than the rest of his team. He did more damage than the rest of his team. Commiserations to that KV-1 on the enemy team. He had a really good game as well, just unable to claim the victory at the end. But the Thunder God was able to get 2,074 experience, non-double, non-premium. You can see that he managed to get this game on a 3 times, meaning that he got a 9,300 3 times with his premium account. That's crazy. Making nearly 59,000 credits profit in a Black Prince. Both of these replays that you've seen today have been hyper carries, where without a shadow of a doubt the game would have been lost without the individual heroics of the players involved. I'm not going to take anything away from either of these guys. They did have very fortunate situations. The first game was a great result because basically there were only tier 7 heavy tanks on the enemy team, which meant that there was a lot of damage to go around, and not what I would call dangerous damage. If there had been, for example, T-34s on the enemy team that had played aggressively and taken huge chunks of his health away, then it might have been a bit more tricky than, for example, having a load of AMX drivers who were trying to penetrate the T-29 in the turret. And with the Thunder God, he was very fortunate. There was only 1 tier 7 tank on the enemy team. And when you get a heavy tank against that kind of matchup, where basically the enemy find it very hard to penetrate you, you can work wonders and have these kind of magic games. Anyway guys, I'd like to thank everyone who sent me their replays for their heavy tanks. The next video will showcase the person who managed to get the highest amount of experience, so keep an eye out for that. I hope you guys have enjoyed these replays. I'm sure that there will be some debate in the comments about how special these games are, but it looks like tier 7 and 8 is the way to get the highest amount of experience in World of Tanks, considering all of your replays. I do appreciate that we're not seeing any really low heavy tiers, but we're not seeing any super high heavy tiers, i.e. the 9s and 10s. So what I might do is scour through some more of the replays to try and find out some of the tier 9 and 10 games which are fantastic as well. Nevertheless, if you've enjoyed this replay, please consider rating it down below. I'd really appreciate it. And keep a lookout for my other replays coming up from this competition. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.